Give me your three biggest risers coming out of the week. Any
Sure.
position, any player, you go.
There were a lot of notable players who played really well. Like Lee Hunter played well, Caleb Banks played well, TJ Parker played well, Romello Height played well. Like a lot of the guys that we kind of thought were going to play well and ended up, especially on the defensive line, they performed very well in practices. And so like a true riser, in my opinion, is somebody that we maybe weren't expecting. And so I'm not going to say any of those headlining names, even though I do think that they had good weeks. But a couple of the biggest risers, I'm going to start with Pittsburgh linebacker Kyle Lewis, who I thought was a major riser on the week. The one-on-one drills that linebackers have versus running backs in coverage is so heavily weighted towards running backs standing out. They have the whole field to work with. They know exactly where they're going. They know exactly what the route is. And the linebacker is really just trying to stay close. Ultimately, like you're trying to be sticky in coverage. You're trying to anticipate their movements a little bit. Are they giving it a little bit away with their shoulders, their hips, or like something? And you're just trying to get a beat on it to where you're at least close in coverage to where they're probably going to catch the football, but are you close there to make a tackle or maybe even get a pass breakup? Kyle Lewis was so explosive. He was so good with his anticipation. He was so fluid in his movements. He not only had a couple of pass breakups, he had multiple interceptions on that drill. If you look at his entire body of work throughout the week, in that drill alone, it was probably the best I've ever seen a linebacker play in that drill, ever. Not just this past year, but ever. So
it's quite the praise.
So you talk about that's high praise. So you talk about a player who isn't really built like a linebacker. He weighed in at around 5'11" and a half, 225 pounds, and I think that this is
Evan Pace 2.0.
So he's not Ivan Pace because Ivan Pace, as you remember from being a Cincinnati guy, he was a bull. Like he's the pass rusher guy. You put him in an inside linebacker spot and you just let him blitz the offensive line. And
that dude went undrafted, I have no idea.
No, because there was always going to be some value there. There's no question. Right. And obviously the Vikings were able to unlock that. Lewis, I think, is different because I don't think he's a traditional linebacker, but I do think he's a great nickel defender. We're seeing an age where Derwin James, Nicky Manwari, Jalen Petrie, Kyler Gordon, like players like this who are just these slot defenders who are sort of like in this overhang, but also can play in the box type of role. Like that's exactly what Kyle Lewis can do. Are there going to be some wide receivers that maybe are a little bit smaller, a little bit faster that might give him fists as if he's sort of in that nickel defender role? Yeah, but he defends the run really well from that linebacker background. He's super explosive. He's got great ball skills, and you don't have to take him off the field. When the other team is in a heavy run package, Kyle Lewis can be your Sam. He can stay on the field and be more of a linebacker. And then when they spread it out in nickel, you can have him kick out into that overhang role to play more in the slot. I got so much more faith in who he's going to be as an NFL player because of that this past week. So he's the first one. Max Ionicher, the offensive tackle from Arizona State, is next because there was some love for him being a really good athlete, and he graded well for PFF when it came to the pass blocking metrics for him. But my goodness, I mean, day 2 and day 3, I didn't really see anybody get by him. And we're talking about guys who are trying to win with power, guys who are trying to win with finesse, guys who are trying to win with technique. His footwork, his balance, his explosiveness was so good. So I thought he was a major riser because the way that he played makes you think about drafting him in the top 50. Maybe even he'll get some first round buzz as well for how good of an athlete that he is. And then the final guy that I'll shout out is Sam Hecht, the offensive center from Kansas State. He started the last 25 games of his college career at center, really solid PFF grades as a run blocker and a pass blocker throughout. And for 3 straight days, I mean, I could probably count on one hand the amount of total reps that he lost, whether it was one-on-one or in the team drills. I mean, his grip is fantastic. He's got great core strength, such great balance. I think he's versatile in what they asked him to do when it came to run blocking as well. We talk about Connor Liu, and I think he's been sort of the understood, like, best center in the class. We talk about Jake Slaughter as well from Florida, kind of up there in that conversation. I genuinely think that Sam Hecht could be the best center in this class from what I saw in Mobile. He just did not lose. He did not lose barely any reps, and I think anytime that's the case.
Over your Gator great Jake Slaughter?
He was better than Jake.
I was
Yes.
going to bring him up. That was one of my he dominated in the game, and Austin Barber as well. Both Florida linemen were just like moving dudes in the run game.
And I think that Slaughter is a good center. Like I think that I want to make it clear. Like I think he's a good center prospect. But when you have the body of work that Sam Hecht was able to put out there for 3 straight days, I mean, he had a better overall week. I truly feel like than Slaughter did, and that's again not really a knock on Slaughter. It's more of just how impressed I was with Sam Hecht.